It's Brazil won, Morocco won, and that was the curtain raiser in that group. And with me to discuss that is Mustafa and Warif. Welcome to another World Cup show.
Okay, on our show, we don't say, "Oh, nice game, 1-1 draw." Let's get straight to the point on the problems that both teams have. Brazil's main problem: no midfield. Vinny Jr. and Rafinha look. Now we see how when you play for Real Madrid or you play for Barcelona, it makes you look like you're the best in the world, which they are some of the best. But when you don't have a midfield, absolutely nothing for you. Also, let's go to Morocco because we're Africans. Hakimi played fantastic, but we might as well just make Hakimi uh, an attacking midfielder. Just make him an attacking midfielder and find somebody else to play right. He plays right fullback, right? Right
Yes, it
fullback.
does.
Find
It
somebody else
does.
right fullback because that goal that was given up is because of his overlapping. And instead of Diaz to try to invert when Hakimi comes, Diaz was just standing there doing nothing. Hakimi was doing all of the creative play for the team. Diaz did not do much.
Yeah.
And that's a liability. I'm not saying Hakimi is a great player, but it's a liability if he's going to come that forward and then they don't. Somebody put him on mute. Please go on mute. If he's going to come that far forward and they're not going to cover for him when he's forward, and it doesn't seem like he's ever right at back playing defense. It seems like he's just part of the attack and the midfield. What do you think of Falabi? Also, Mazraoui, fantastic game. Even though Rafinha didn't have support, Mazraoui was the man of the match. He shut down Rafinha. What are your thoughts of Falabi?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Hakimi, one of the best players for Morocco, like you said, is a defensive liability. He was more or less playing like a winger. And the moment the Brazilians found out that the space behind Hakimi was vacated, they started pinging balls to Vini Jr. in that space. And it was
Yeah,
from there he took advantage of the space, cut in. I mean, that was a signature goal. He has scored those kind of goals for Real several times. So he just isolated Hakimi, cutting off the right leg and shot it into the net. And this is one area that Morocco needs to be careful. They have to decide, like you said, Mustafa, are we playing him as a winger? Then we get a proper defender to defend the space. But if you are playing him as a fullback, then he must have the awareness to track back, or you ask your midfielders to cover the space when it's far forward or he's advanced. And then
yeah,
to Mazraoui did an excellent job on the other side. Uh, Rafinha barely had a sniff at the ball. And then, like you said, I mean, Rafinha and Vini Jr. were like hanging pawns. There was no creativity in the midfield to supply them. The midfield was old, rickety, and slow. Casemiro and Fabinho are in their 30s. They were slow. They were not mobile. Bruno Guimaraes couldn't link play from midfield to attack. And then in the first 20 minutes, Morocco played them off the park. Brazil was more or less hanging, by the ropes. But
yeah.
the moment Ancelotti, a brilliant tactician, noticed that he made a couple of changes, the game equalized even out, and I think the two teams were content to play
Yeah.
themselves out for a draw.
Yeah. And Morocco was very lucky because several times late in the game, Morocco was tired, and they were bringing all their players forward. A lot of times, Brazil broke away and had counterattacks, but they weren't able to finish or take advantage of it. If Morocco plays like that against any number of teams, not even Spain or France, if they play against like any number of teams, or Senegal or somebody, the way they're playing now, they're going to be in trouble. During the African Nations Cup, that mass attack, mass defense worked for them because you're playing in Africa. But now when you're meeting teams that have clinical wingers, clinical creative, imagine they were playing Argentina. Argentina will destroy that type of setup. So Argentina needs to have more balance because they're not really playing in midfield. And with what's his name, Hakimi coming far forward, it makes us wonder what do you have Diaz for? Diaz is good, but Diaz is you know what is funny? I'm not going to say he's a goal poacher, but he takes opportunity of open spaces when other people create open spaces for him. But he doesn't do a lot of work. But what do you think about that, Afalabi? Then we'll go to Mr. Warif. Hakimi doesn't. I mean, Diaz doesn't do a lot of work
No, 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 no.
at
He's
all.
not the most hardworking player. He just pops up in spaces, collects the ball, and then passes it on. I don't see anything
Yes.
fantastic about him. The guy that really impressed me in this game was Mazraoui. In fact, there was a ball towards the end of the game that he threaded in. Imagine someone that is playing in the defense, far forward, threading the ball into the box 18, and he almost got the better of Alisson Becker in the
Very good game. So
Brazilian.
it's Mr. Warif's birthday and it's Afalabi's birthday too. So I guess we have to say happy birthday. But Mr. Warif, what are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, well, it was a high tactical game, but the Brazilians had, like Mr. Falabi said, and like you said, the first 20 minutes, they were not organized, they were shaking.
No.
The Moroccan, they brought the PSG approach, rush them, put them under serious pressure, which the Brazilians could not cope with. They couldn't even make proper complete passes. They were like shaking. And again, Ancelotti has lots of work to do in that midfield, because if you watch Casemiro, thank God it was even better he removed him in the early the second half. If not, he would have received the red card because he couldn't cope with the pace of the game. Even Rafinha, to me, Rafinha was not in that game. The Rafinha I know in Baka, he was then in Baka, he was energetic, he can take shots, but this game, nothing, he couldn't show himself.
You know, he's
Then what's
no
it called?
more, no Pedri, no more.
Don't do pass yourself. What's it called? Hakimi. If Hakimi plays against some European team, I will punish him because those guys they are fast. Team that has good midfield, they'll just loop the ball across him. So I think the what's it called? The Brazilian coach need to go and, apart from the World Cup, they need to do more research to groom younger players in that midfield. So I think he's a good one, but the kudos to both of them, because the good thing is that both of them will likely qualify from the group, but the Brazilian team, they need to work on their midfield, mostly both defensive midfield and creative midfield. There was nothing. It's just their defense that just helped them.
Yeah, and so what's his name? Put him on mute. But Mazraoui did a very good job of cutting down the passing lanes and preventing the ball from getting into Rafinha. So that's why even when Brazil tried to make passes, the lanes were cut down. I want to say something. I don't know how Brazil started that game. Maybe it looked like they weren't pressing at all. I thought maybe it was just a tactic. Maybe they were just sitting back and they were waiting to pounce on Morocco, because that way they started the game wasn't tactical at all. No pressing. We saw Brazil we saw them in the friendlies. They were pressing. Who did they draw with in the friendlies again? Was it Norway? I feel like we know.
No, I think it was Egypt.
Egypt. They drew with Egypt, right? Or they beat Egypt. They drew. But in that game they were pressing a lot. They didn't press as much. They weren't as organized. So I think they were a little bit nervous. And then this is Ancelotti's first World Cup match. He might have been nervous too. What do you think, Falabi?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But I think even in this World Cup, teams that are playing the pressing game have to do it intelligently. You could see that there was a drop-off in the Moroccan tempo in the second half. They got visibly tired. Because of, you can see there were a lot of hydration breaks because of the weather.
Mr. Why can you take the passing echo?
If you're going to play like that, you have to press in spells. You can't do it for the whole game. So I think at the end of the day, when Morocco got tired, that was when Brazil came back into the game. So because of the weather, you have to choose when to press and do it and, stop, do it and stop. It's not something you can do that they can sustain because of the weather.
Yeah, and let me tell you, there's no guarantees. Brazil and Morocco may draw their next games. I'm telling you, there's no guarantee. Just because you say you play Scotland, you have to take these games seriously, because I can see draws in this group. There could be a lot of draws. Who else do they have to play? Scotland, and what's the other team?
One funny team like that is it Curacao?
Haiti. They'll beat Haiti.
Yeah, Haiti.
Hopefully.
Sorry, Haiti. No, Haiti. If you draw everybody will take 3 points from Haiti.
If you draw with Haiti,
everybody will take 3 points from Haiti.
Yeah.
But if they're not careful, both Morocco and Brazil might get knocked off the perch by Scotland.
So they need to be careful. All right, last thought, Mr. Wari, before we head out. You guys can celebrate your birthday.
Yeah. Like you said, if the what's it called? Moroccans and Brazilians, not as if their teams were that perfect, but they were good. But they still have lots of work to do. Like what's it called? The Moroccans. They need to watch out for Hakimi, because if once he overlaps and there's no backup for him, they notice it. And I believe the opponent they will study this game, the game of today, to see how they can approach these two teams. And Brazil, they need to go and work on their midfield. The problem is their midfield. And Rafinha, they should get a proper backup for him, because he's not fit at all in this match. So the Ancelotti need to work on that.
Yeah, so then we'll be back to talk more. What's the next big game, Afolabi?
I need to check. I think Spain is on Monday. Spain Cape Verde is on Monday.
There is another interesting match this today Sunday.
It's tomorrow. Ivory Coast is tomorrow.
Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll see you guys. Check us out on Friday.
It's been another brilliant show. We have been discussing the draw between Brazil and Morocco that kicked off that group. And from Mustafa, Warif, and myself, we'll be back again. Bye for now.
All right, thank you guys. So we'll talk. Mr.